All right, welcome back, everybody. You're watching our annual Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month celebration, presented by the Asian Speedrunners Alliance. We're showcasing the best and brightest AAPI speedrunners right here on GDQ Hotfix throughout the entire weekend. If you'd like more information about the Asian Speedrunners Alliance, including how to join, type !AAPI in the chat. And speaking of which, we have another run coming up here. M-Chan doing new Super Mario Bros. 2 Warpless. Very excited for this on the Nintendo 3DS, no less, the best console of all time. M-Chan, take it away.
All right, thank you, Etchi. Hello, everybody. My name is M-Chan, and welcome to New Super Mario Bros. 2. I'm very excited to be on GDQ, and I guess without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and get started on a new game because time doesn't start until after the intro cutscene. It's going to take about a minute, and so I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it, and then I'll do the countdown afterwards. Thank you. All right, so yeah, this is New Super Mario Bros. 2. It is the third game in the New Super Mario Bros. Series, and the category that I'm running is Warpless. So the main category is any %, where you use warp cannons in order to skip a large part of the game. Warpless does not use any warp cannons at all. So what you're going to be seeing in this run is more of a traditional route of the game, with a few major exceptions. Yeah, you get to see more of the game, more tricks, more strats, more levels, and that's the kind of Mario speedrun that I like. So it should be a lot of fun. And yeah, the intro's over, so I'm going to do the countdown really soon. So, 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so as we begin the first level is going to be slightly different from the any % run, and that is that I am getting star coins. Now, this is not a 100% run, but the reason I am getting star coins is because on the world maps, there are these 5 star coin signs where you can spend your star coins on for either toad houses or an alternate path of the map, and sometimes the alternate paths on the map can lead to either faster levels or just a faster path throughout the map. So I'm going to be getting a total of 15 star coins, and all 15 star coins are going to be in the first 3 worlds. So the star coin routing is somewhat precise. It's not too bad though. So I got the first 2 star coins in 1-1. I'm not going to get any in 1-2 because the star coins in this level are pretty slow to get. So this is a pretty straightforward level. Coming up in 1-3, we're going to be introduced to the main power-up of the run, and that is the Super Leap. So if you're familiar with Super Mario Bros. 3, then you might be familiar with this power-up. You can hover over obstacles and fly, and that is the case with this game as well, except in this game it's really busted. It is so busted that it is going to be the main power-up that I use throughout the whole run if all things go well. Yeah.
What is different with the sequel compared to the first New Super Mario Bros? Because I don't think I've actually played New Super Mario Bros. 2.
Well, obviously the physics are much different. The physics in this game are similar to New Super Mario Bros. Wii. There are, of course, much different power-ups as well. So there's a lot of differences between the games as the games get released. So they each all present their own different challenges here and there. Here's my Super Leap. So as you can see with the Super Leap, if I run at full speed, then I get P speed, and with P speed I can fly. And as you probably saw throughout the level, you saw me do something a little bit unintended, and that is that I'm spinning while I'm flying, and that actually keeps my speed. Normally when you're flying, you lose all your speed in exchange for vertical height, but if I'm spinning and flying at the same time, then I can keep my speed, which makes a lot of tricks possible. So here's our first tower. So this is the point where normally you get a secret exit, which would take you to a cannon level, but this is warpless, so we are not going to get the secret exit. We're going to do this tower normally and climb up to the top and do the regular exit and go through World 1 normally. And so the boss of every tower is Reznor. If you've played Super Mario World, then you're familiar with this boss. The way you fight him is exactly how you fight him in Super Mario World. You hit underneath him, and that is the fight right there. And unlike in Super Mario World, Reznor does come in different variations. So that is not going to be the same Reznor fight for later towers coming up. Alright, so now we're moving on to the second half of World 1, which is, and in 1-4, I'm going to be, right now I'm at 4 star coins, and I'm going to get another star coin in the beginning, which will bring me at 5, which is going to be relevant after this level, because the next level we're going to be doing is not going to be 1-5. 1-5 is a water level, so it's automatically slower, so we're going to be spending our star coins in order to take a different path and do a different level, which is much faster than 1-5. 1-5 is like 50 seconds slower than the other level, which is going to be 1-A. So this automatically makes the star coins worth getting. So you're seeing at the beginning, or at the end of each level, I'm grabbing the flagpoles very specifically. I am grabbing the 2,000 point mark, which is like in the center of the flagpoles. And that's because Mario and the Flag, they stop at different, or they move at different speeds, and you want them to stop at the same time. And since we go through quite a handful of levels in this game, trying to achieve that as much as we can does add up. Okay, very nice. That is a tight P-speed to get in order to fly up over to this part. Normally there's a pipe cannon that you're supposed to use in order to blast yourself to this part, but this saves, getting that P-speed and flying up saves about 2 seconds. Okay, very nice. And now we're moving on to the castle, which will be the end of World 1. So the thing that's worth noting about the castle is there are these swinging ropes that I'm going to be avoiding. I'm going to try and fly under with P-speed. I'm also going to do another precise P-speed setup in order to get the second star coin, because we do need 5 star coins, another set of 5 star coins heading into... Nice. Heading into World 2. So there's my P-speed. I'm going to keep it throughout the level, and while I'm keeping it, I am flying underneath these thwomps and swinging ropes, and just like that. And also in boss doors, I am trying to enter the boss doors in the center, and that is to skip Mario walking to the center and then entering the door. Again, another one of those optimizations. This is a very optimized category, so I'm doing whatever I can to try and optimize my time as much as possible. And so the boss of every castle is going to be a Koopaling. In this case, we're going to be fighting Roy Koopa. And in a lot of Mario games, whenever you fight bosses the same way, you get consistent results. So I know exactly when Roy's going to come out of his shell, and then I hit him as soon as he comes out of the shell. So... that is World 1 completed, and now we're moving on to World 2. World 1 is kind of like the basic introductory world that gets you familiar with the game. World 2 is kind of when we start to have some more challenging levels, as well as some challenging tricks. So stay tuned.
I was going to ask you, because you've been a speedrunner for like ever, and then 2, you've run a ton of different Mario games, especially the new Super Mario Bros. 1. Is this your favorite one of them? What's your favorite?
Yeah, I run all the new Super Mario Bros. Games, but I mainly run this game and New Super Luigi. This is definitely my favorite favorite speed game. I really like the tech around the Super Leaf, especially in you don't see it very often. You see a lot more of the Super Leaf tech in some of the longer categories outside of Warpless, such as like in All Castles and 100%. There's also several other different categories as well. There's a lot of different ways to speedrun this game, so it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
All right, going into 2-2, there is a vertical section halfway into the level that I'm going to skip with P-Speed. So I'm going to go ahead and set up P-Speed right around over here, just like that. And then I'm going to fly up and slow down a little bit in order to get that third star coin, because I'm going to be at 5 star coins again, and so the next level I'm going to be doing is going to be 2-A instead of 2-3. 2-A is about 12 seconds faster than 2-3, but because of the extra time that it takes for me to get some extra star coins, as well as spending the star coins, then it's still faster by about 6 seconds. With the trade-off that 2-A is actually significantly harder than 2-3. So we'll see what happens here. So one of the hardest parts is right away in the beginning. Setting up P-Speed is really tight. Okay, good. So then I'm going to hover to these platforms, and the optimization I'm doing in this level is I am trying to land on the very left of each of these moving platforms, and then running off to the very right in order to run along with the moving platforms in order to gain a little bit of extra speed. And as you saw right there at the very end is also a very scary part, because that fuzzy that I just hit can sometimes hit me, and if he does hit me, then I die, and I have to go through the rest of the level without a leaf, so it can be very punishing. So I'm glad that level went really well. And now we're moving on to 2-Tower. This is a cycle-based level with these blocks opening and closing. I could not beat that first cycle, so I used that extra time to get an extra leaf that I'm going to be using for a mixture of safety as well as some damage boost strategies later on. So this cycle that I'm going for at the very end, if I get up to the very end without making any mistakes, and I just have to wait for this part right here. Okay, very nice. There's an even faster cycle that top level runners like to go for that saves 6 more seconds, and that's by doing the same movement that I'm doing, but cutting the jumps tighter. But obviously that is not something that's safe to do. So yeah, there we go. And as you saw right there, there's a bit of a slightly harder Reznor fight where there's 4 Reznors instead of 2. But either way, it's not too hard. And yeah, so that's the second half of World 2. Now we're moving on to the Ghost House, where we are going to get the first secret exit of the run. Now this is warpless, so the only thing that's not allowed in warpless is using warp cannons, and so secret exits are still allowed. And so I'm going to be getting a secret exit here in 2 Ghost House, and that gives me a faster path throughout the second half of World 2. So after the Ghost House, usually, you'd have to do 2 more levels and then the castle. The secret exit will only take me to 1 level, and also that 1 level is significantly easier than the 2 levels that I would normally have to do. So this Boo, it's known as the Behemoth. He will always, if I face left looking at him, then he actually stops, which actually stops the progression of the level. So I want to always be facing right. And then head over here. There's a hidden vine block that I hit in order to get up to the secret exit. So 2-B, which is the next level, is normally a really hard level if you're doing like 100%, because there are these flying bob-ombs, and sometimes you have to use the flying bob-ombs to get star coins, but when you don't have to get the star coins, and this is a pretty simple level, you can just simply fly over everything, which is what I'm going to do here. These bomb cannons, the shoot out bob-ombs, and the bob-ombs come out at random heights. That's usually not a problem, as long as you move accordingly. I also grabbed that 3rd star coin since it's in my way, as I still need another set of 5 star coins. And so there we go. Significantly easier level than the other 2 levels I would have to do. And now coming up is the first really hard trick of the run. So normally in 2 Castle, you have to ride a giant button across a large pool of lava, but with precise flying, I can skip that entirely. So let's see how this goes. Very nice.
Nice, let's go.
So yeah, that is definitely the first difficult part in terms of learning this game. It takes a bit of understanding how flying works in this game, as well as managing P-speed in order to get that trick down. So very, very happy that I got that. And now we're fighting Iggy Koopa. So Iggy Koopa comes out of random parts, but you have enough time to get to where Iggy is about to come out from in order to hit him, so that the randomness doesn't really matter. And there we go. So the other thing that I'm doing at the end of fighting each Koopaling is I am trying to get to the top of the screen as soon as I can. And that's because the key descends down pretty slowly. So you want to try and get to the top of the screen as soon as the key spawns. So, World 2 completed. Now we're moving on to World 3, which is a combination of a beach and a forest world. And so as we make our way to the first level is the introduction to the star. The stars make you invincible, much like in Mario games beforehand, and it also makes you go faster. So I grabbed that star right there, and as you can see, I'm moving much faster and tanking through all these flying Cheep Cheeps, which is good because this, without the star, these Cheep Cheeps are kind of annoying to deal with. And so after this level, we have our final part where we need star coins for. And so after this, I do not need any more star coins. And so any star coin that I get past this point are just star coins that just happen to be within my path. And so the reason I am going to go down here is because the upper part of World 3 has 2 levels instead of 1. So 1 is always better. This level is a water level, and like I said, we try to avoid water levels, but this is better than doing 2 levels up on the top. So the only noteworthy thing to say about this level is there are these fast-moving currents that always push me forward. And then the next level after 3-A is an auto-scroller. So 2 pretty slow levels to do in a row. So Echi, why don't you talk to us a little bit?
Well, a couple things I wanted to say. First of all, chat, if you have any questions about Mario speedruns, whether this or the plethora of other ones M-Chain has done, definitely let us know in the chat. Second, let me pull it up because I just lost it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Just a couple quick GDQ announcements. One, it's already come up in chat a bunch of times, but Summer Games Done Quick 2025 will be live in Minneapolis from July 6th to the 13th. You can register to attend by May 26th. Use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gdq.gg/games to check out the new finalized game list. I think there's only like one thing that's TBA on the games list, but otherwise it's basically fully finalized with the schedule and everything. Second game submission all done. So if you haven't checked that out yet, definitely do so because a lot of good stuff.
Warpless or no secret exits, which is better? It is warpless for sure. No secret exits in this game is basically warpless, but with extra levels.
It's a good time.
Okay, so I guess another thing I can talk about is one of the main selling points of this game is collecting lots of coins. So there is an external coin count. You probably saw it if you paid attention in the world map. My external counter right now, it's at 9,999,999. That's a lot of coins. That actually does matter in the speedrun, because whenever you complete a tower or a castle, then normally the game asks you to save, right? Additionally, it also accumulates your coins. So if you max out the coin counter, then the game cannot count up those coins anymore, which skips the prompt entirely. And so that does save time. Over the course of the run, at least in this category, you save about 10 seconds. It's not super significant, but significant enough to where if you're trying to compete for high-level times, then it is worth it. And it is cartridge-based too. So as soon as you accumulate it within your cartridge, you don't need to do it again, unless you completely wipe out your cartridge. Feel free to continue.
Yeah, we got some more announcements we can do for sure. Pull it back up again. I just put it in the chat, but again, this is an event brought to you by the Asian Speedrunners Alliance. We're a community of Asian and Pacific Islander speedrunners built to uplift and support each other in the space. If that is something you're interested in joining, you can go ahead and click that Discord link in the chat. We'd love to see more and more Asian and Pacific Islander speedrunners join us. It's been the slow growing community. We just started doing these events with GDQ Hotfix, I think 2 years ago now, because this is the third one I've hosted, I believe. Yeah. So we're still growing. We're still trying to outreach and improve on that as much as possible. So definitely consider joining. And yeah, really excited to be doing this event today. Again, we're doing this for 2 whole days. So not just today, but tomorrow as well. A lot of cool speed runs. I believe if you do ! schedule, which I'll also do in the chat, which someone else beat me to, you can check it out and see all the cool runs we have lined up. Very excited for that.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so now that we got the bit of the slower part of the run out of the way, now we're moving on to the second half of World 3. So 3-4 has 2 sections. The first part is just very simple. It's just really simple platforming. Avoid the enemies, the poison water. This second part right here, we have cycles of poison water moving up and down. And oh man, okay. If you do a precise enough jump, then you can run on those blocks and make it up to the top here. That's okay. Still fine. Alright, so the next level has several moving platforms that you're supposed to use in order to get to one part to another, but we can obviously skip all of that, so that's what we're going to try and do here. And we are going to get the secret exit here as well, and that actually skips an entire level and goes straight to the castle. What makes these games special for me to run? I just simply enjoy these 2 games more in terms of what tricks and movement tech are available within the games themselves. The other games, they're also fun in their own merits, but I don't run those games much because some of the tricks in some of those games are really hard to grind out.
Would you say the tricks are generally like more forgiving in this game, or
yeah,
is it just,
the tricks in this game are definitely very forgiving. And the other thing is like,
okay.
Because the super leap is the main power-up you use in this game, there's usually always a super leap in like every other level, so you always have a way to kind of save yourself if a run goes bad. Gotcha. Alright, so that's the secret exit, and now we're moving on to the castle. The castle has these saws that I have to precisely dodge around. Okay, very nice. And then I'm going to fly up. Precisely dodge around these saws while I'm flying up. And then there is a pretty precise P speed. If I don't get it, then that's fine. There's a backup. I would like to get this one. Okay, nice. So that skips having to wait for that large saw right there. And then I can keep P speed and fly over the rest of this level right here.
Nice.
So very nice. Save a second over the backup strat. So that's what we like to see. And now coming up is Wendy Koopa. So the thing about Wendy is Wendy will start by flooding the room with water. You cannot hit Wendy while she is underwater, unless you have the Fire Flower. But it is not worth getting a Fire Flower just to save time in this fight. So I just have to wait for the water to come on down, and then as soon as the water is just below Wendy, then I can hit her, and then rinse and repeat for attack 2 and 3. Going back to the other conversation, New Super Luigi appeals to me because the 100-second time limit is it's really fun, and like when you get used to the controls in that game, the levels are laid out nicely, so it makes a really nice speedrun for that game. It's a really hard casual game. New Super Luigi, in terms of playing casually, out of all 5 of the New Super Mario Bros. Games, is definitely the hardest one in terms of casual play. But really fun in the speedrun if you can get used to that game. Alright, so the run's been really straightforward so far, and now this is where things get really different in Warpless, and that is that World 4 usually is the longest world in the game because it has the most amount of levels, but it's really short in this run because we only do 4 levels. There's a secret exit in the Ghost House, which is the next level after this, that allows us to skip a lot of World 4. So we're not going to be in World 4 for that long. And that also includes skipping the tower as well. So there is... so you definitely skip a handful, and a lot of these levels that we would normally have to do, they're pretty tough to do.
It's a good time.
Yeah, so I gotta get the secret exit here, which, like I said, the secret exit will allow me to skip a lot of World 4. There's not much to say about this level, so you can go ahead and fire up with more announcements if you'd like.
I actually wanted to ask you a question because this is something I've been interested in. Is as someone who has as much New Super Mario Bros. Experience as you do, what do you think is the best game/category for someone interested in learning this, getting into New Super Mario Bros.
So I'd say New Super Mario Bros. 2 is probably the easiest of the 5 to get into.
Okay.
There are not a lot of hard tricks to learn. Obviously, of course, you know, the tricks that you have to learn, you have to practice them. But aside from that, New Super Mario Bros. 2 in general, at least all the categories, they're all very approachable. The power-up routing is really simple. Any percent is also is a you know, of course, it's naturally a lot of people get into any percent because it's the shortest amongst all of them.
Right.
But Warpless is also a pretty good one. Even Warpless doesn't have a lot of difficult tricks to learn.
Yeah, still not that long either in the grand scheme of things. Your PB is like a 46,
yeah,
right?
46.
Right.
Let's go.
So yeah, you can go and keep going. There's not a lot of interesting things to talk about in this level either.
That just sounds good. And pull it back up. Oh yeah, this is something I should mention too, is if you haven't already followed M-Chan, please do so. M-Chan, like I said, longtime speedrunner, not just Mario Bros, but also done some Zelda and some Pokemon as well. As a Pokemon speedrunner myself, big fan of Pokemon stuff. M-Chan does it all. Go drop him a follow. If you're watching live on Twitch, you can just hover over his name in the title, mchan338, and drop the little heart. You can also just go to twitch.tv/mchan338 if you're watching on YouTube after the fact. And if you are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you've missed out on any of our other Hotfix shows or past events, visit and subscribe over at youtube.com/gamesdonequick.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so going into 4-Castle. So this coin block that's been following me around, I'm going to use it. What the coin block does is, you move around, you get a lot of coins, but I'm going to be using it to boost through that fire bar without losing any of my power-ups. And then I hit that stair step, which will slow me down enough to manipulate getting a star from that roulette block, so I can use it in order to speed through this level. This level is really awkward to go through usually without the star. Okay, good. And then intentional damage boosts, because there is not a good way to get past all the spiky balls in order to get to the boss door quickly. So very well done with that level. And now we have the hardest boss in the game. I'm really nervous about this. It is Morton Koopa Jr. So you hit him. I'm going to re-equip my leaf because I need it for World 5, and then he's going to go to the side. He's going to come back to the top, and then I hit him again, and then I rinse and repeat. It's really difficult. Oh, yes, I did it. Let's go.
Yes. GG. Can we get some hype in the chat for the tough boss fight? I mean, it's the plot of the game. Literally, just you're just chasing Peach, and each time you defeat one little Koopa guy, the next Koopa guy comes in and moves.
Yeah,
Peach.
That's basically the lore of the game. It's your traditional Mario lore, where
very very standard, but with more characters, I guess. Makes sense.
Okay, so going into World 5, in my opinion, my hardest world of the run. So it's another short world similar to World 4, but World 5 is probably the most punishing in terms of mistakes, and they can snowball pretty quickly. So we'll see what happens here. So I'm going to get the secret exit of 5-1. It's by heading up over here, hit this hidden vine block, which will take us to a sub area where normally that's where you can get the third star coin here. I just got that for fun. And then you hit that hidden vine block in order to make your way down over this way, avoid all these Koopas, and then into the flagpole, and that's the secret exit, which will take us to a very different part of World 5, which will be a much shorter path in order to get to the world. And again, this also includes skipping the tower, and the tower does have a really hard trick, usually, but we don't get to see that in this run. All right, so 5 Ghost House is another really tough level. So these swoopers are placed in pretty awkward positions, and then as soon as I get to the secret exit part, which is by heading up over here, there's a room of swinging blocks as well as swinging ropes that to precisely deal with here. So let's see what happens here. And these swoopers are placed in very weird spots too. Okay, and then I face backwards so I can get that boot out of the way in order to get to that door. Very nice. It's not over yet. Precisely jump through that boot ring and then jump up. Okay, very nice. So it is really easy for something to go wrong in this level. And very happy that went as well as it did. And now our reward for going through that ghost house is a 2-minute autoscroller. So, what is your favorite Mario game, Etchi?
Oh, mine is Super Mario World.
Okay.
By a long
I love
shot.
Super Mario World.
As a boomer, I grew up with the Super Nintendo and Super Mario World, and I was so bad at it. I would always get to like I can't remember the name of the area, but like the Star Cave thing with all the Yoshis and stuff.
Yeah,
that's
Star
like as
World,
far as I would ever get. Yeah, and then I would just lose all my lives and then restart basically constantly. I was really bad as a kid, but I played it so much. It consumed all my time. I love it. I also love just like the art style, the way the game looks. I think it's
for
fantastic.
Sure. Yeah, I have a special place in me for Super Mario World because that is the game. Like I played like Super Mario Bros. And like Mario 64, but at the time I wasn't really much of a gamer. But then I got into but then I started playing Super Mario World as well as Super Mario World ROM hacks around like the late 2000s, and Super Mario World is what really got me into video games. As soon as I started playing it.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I feel like such a speedrunning fraud for having very little like Super Mario 64 experience. Because I basically like barely had an N64 as a kid. I kind of moved on like immediately to PlayStation, like right after I got one. So I didn't play Super Mario 64 until years and years later, or like OOT and all that kind of stuff. But it is, yeah, all the Mario games are such fun speedruns to watch, even if you're not like super experienced at like playing them or whatever. Yeah. So much cool tech. The platforming's super fascinating. Outside of what M-Chan is doing right now with this auto scroller, that he's been flying through these levels nonstop, and it's been awesome.
Okay, so now we're moving on to Five Castles. Five Castle has another hard trick. It is another major skip where normally you're supposed to ride grates across the lava, but with precise flying, then I can skip all that entirely. So we'll see what we can do here. This is more precise than Two Dutch Castle. So make my way up over here. I'm gonna set up key speed on this part. Okay, that's one. That's two. And that's three.
Let's go.
Okay, so there is something to know about that third section right there is there is a way to skip having to ride that last part, and that is by flying through that giant bony piranha. But if you get hit by that bony piranha, then you die. And it saves 3 seconds if you can get it, but really punishing if you fail it. Nice! So what I did there was I jumped as high as I could, did a ground pound, and then got hit by Ludwig, and then during the power down animation buffered an up input in order to hit Ludwig before he flies off screen. Normally what's supposed to happen in this fight is he flies up on the top of the screen, and then he'll come out from a random chain, and then you have to use a pipe cannon in order to hit him down. This saves like 6 seconds. Overall, that entire level is really hard, and I'm happy that that level went as well as it did. So overall, really good roll 5. Like I said, probably my hardest world of the run. So really happy about how that went. And now we're moving on to World 6. This is the last world of the run. There are only 6 main worlds, as well as 3 special worlds that you don't see in this run at all, because those require warp cannons in order to get to those worlds. So this is the final world. We're almost done. And heading into World 6, we have these meteors that fall down randomly, but if you go through this level really as fast as you can, then you don't have to worry about the meteors getting in your way at all. Otherwise, in some other categories where you have to get the star coins, like 100%, where you have to get star coins, I just flew past a star coin that's like surrounded by blocks. You would have to use a meteor in order to hit those blocks in order to get that star coin, and that could be random. If you don't have to get that star coin, you don't have to worry about it. Pretty straightforward level otherwise. And now we're moving on to 6-Ghost House. This one can be a pretty complicated one to go through if you're playing this casually, because there are rooms that kind of just look very similar to each other. But obviously, of course, in a speedrun, if you know how to go through it, then it's really not that hard. So go inside this room over here, and that sign right there, it's tell me to point left, but I'm going to go back in this room, which will take me to a different part of the level, and that's where the secret exit's going to be. going to face backwards here in order to get this boot out of the way so I can hit this switch. And then, hopefully, there is a bit of a neat little thing here. Okay, nice. If your wall jumps are precise enough, then you can actually just barely make it onto that door without having to do 2 extra wall jumps, saving about a second. So there we go. That secret exit will take us to 6-A. Otherwise, the normal path through World 6 has 2 really hard levels to have 2 very difficult auto-scroller skips, and we don't have to worry about that. So instead we have 6-A, which is kind of hard to do casually because the gimmick in this level is that there's rising lava, but we go through this level so fast that you don't really see the level rising. So, go ahead and get P-Speed here. And I'm gonna fly up this way and grab the star in order to speed through the rest of the level. Okay, so the next level, which is 6-Power, has 2 parts. The first part is a technical climb, where I have to hit these blocks that turn the flamethrowers on and off. And obviously I want to turn them off so I can get onto some of these platforms. And then the second half of the level is a skip where normally I have to use moving platforms in order to ride up to the top of the level, but I can just fly up to the top instead. Okay, there we go. Grab this extra leaf because I'm gonna need it later. And there we go. All right, so I messed up a little bit, but we still got the main part of the level. So very nice. Now the final Reznor fight. Here we go. Okay, very nice. So 3 more levels left to go. So we are almost done with this. And coming up in 6-4, I'm going to be setting up a really tight P-Speed throughout the whole level in order to skip a large moving platform section at the very end of the level. So you can probably imagine that this game has either a lot of auto-scrollers or a lot of levels where you're just riding something across the level. Okay, there's my P-Speed, and then I skip that large moving platform section. Also avoid the crows while I'm at it, and there we go. Okay, so then 6-5 is not a level where we're flying. Instead, there are fireballs that I have to dodge, do some precise dodging. And I'm going to be setting up 2 triple jumps towards the end of the level. And that's because triple jumps allow you to go higher than a regular jump. And without that extra height, I would not be able to clear a bunch of obstacles simultaneously. So here's one triple jump. And then here's the other. So that level has to be done very specifically in order for it to go that well. You will not be able to clear those jumps without a triple jump. And one thing I'm doing with these triple jumps is you see me chain double jumps, and that is because when you're hovering, it actually stores a first jump.
It's a go time.
Okay, final level. Here we go. So this is the longest level of the run. So I'm going to do an intentional damage boost coming up. And that's because there's not a good way of going through this part. And then re-equip my leap over here so I can use it for the next room. Do a precise triple jump and jump over all of this. Very nice. Okay, so in this room, normally, you're supposed to ride that block snake throughout this room, but you can just fly and skip that entirely. Now, this next room is the hardest part, because now we have these Koopalings, and what they will do is they will do a flash attack, and when they do their flash attack, then they'll turn me into stone, unless I am behind these walls. And as you can see, with the way this room looks, if you get turned to stone at the wrong spot, then you're probably gonna die. That was really precise movement in order to get through that room within 2 cycles. And now the corridor room. These fireballs are not random, so you can. Oh, that's not good. Okay, hold up. And go ahead and that's why I grabbed the extra leaf there, in case something like that happens.
Good lock in.
Otherwise, normally if I was doing a PB attempt, I would actually skip that in order to save half a second. And now we got the Bowser fight. Oh yes, let's go.
Nice.
So that's it, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. What happened? What is going on? Well, the Koopalings are up to something.
The real boss.
Oh my goodness, he's back. Oh my gosh, I did not see that coming. Alright, so now we have the escape sequence. So it's basically an auto-scroller, but there is a way to kind of speed this up. And so what we do is we have to fly up to the top at a certain point, and the way we know when to fly up is by counting the number of times Bowser swipes. And that is taking advantage of the fact that in vertical autoscrollers, things can load a little bit before they show up on camera. So after the 4th swipe, I blew up because this next section did spawn. Now, you can get up to the next section within 4 swipes here. However, in this phase, Bowser will always do a 5th swipe no matter what. So I'm gonna go up here, and he's gonna do this 5th swipe. That is always gonna happen. And then the 3rd section, I can get up to the top within 3 swipes. So on the top, there's a giant switch, and as soon as I hit it, then that's when time ends. Now, I am keeping P-Speed here. You do not need P-Speed, but it makes this section significantly easier with P-Speed. Time. 46!
GG.
Yeah, the GQ. Let's go!
Very nice.
All right.
Super close to your PB. Oh my goodness.
All right. I'm really happy with that run.
Really great run. Any shout outs you'd like to do?
Yeah, shout outs to Zokobun for inviting me to the AAPI community. It's been a lot of fun being a part of the events that the AAPI community puts together. Shouts to Etchy for for hosting the run. I've been a fan of you since your AGDQ 2021 run.
Gosh,
I know it is hard to believe that is now 5 years ago. And And shout outs to everybody else watching and enjoying the runs. And be sure to stay tuned for other future runs coming up later. If you'd like to check me out and enjoy me as a runner, I speedrun, the new Super Mario Bros. Games, mainly this and New Super Luigi. I'm also a Zelda speedrunner as well, mainly of Link to the Past and Link's Awakening. Outside of speedrunning, I also do Let's Plays of a variety of different games on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see casual gaming out of me, then feel free to check out my YouTube. That's I don't have much else to say. I had a lot of fun doing the run, and I also had a lot of fun, even though this is only the second run, but it's been fun watching everything and looking forward to all the other runs coming up for AAPI.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I forgot to mention it. Well, not that I forgot to mention it, but we realized after the run, but JD's run right before this was world record. M-Chan, 12 seconds off your PB, kind of ridiculous. Just a lot of high quality runs so far for the event. I'm super excited to see how everything else happens, both today and tomorrow. So coming up next, we have Ground Zero doing a run of My Hero Academia All's Justice. Super excited for that. We're gonna take a quick break for a few minutes, get some water, go to the bathroom, do what you gotta do, and we'll see you in just a little bit.